everyone and welcome. This vlog is going to be fall reads, hopefully from my fall TBR, but definitely just books that I think are going to be great for the fall. And first up, I'm going to be reading Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, and this is the first book in the Wicked Games series. And in this one, we're following Ophelia, who lives with her younger sister Genevieve and their mother. And then their mother mysteriously suddenly dies and leaves behind a massive debt that they're trying to figure out how to pay. And then this competition comes to town called Phantasma, and this is a terrifying, deadly competition inside of a haunted mansion. And you have to make it through 9 trials and be the last person standing in order to win, and the prize is 1 wish. And Genevieve appears to have taken off to join this competition, hoping to, be able to pay off her family's debt. And when Ophelia finds out about this, she takes off to the competition also, hoping to find Genevieve and convince her to forfeit with her and go home. But when Ophelia gets there, she meets a phantom named Blackwell who offers her a bargain where he will help her get through the trials, but in exchange for 10 years of her life. And so far, I'm really having a good time with this. I've found the plot very interesting and gripping. It's a really quick, fun read, maybe a little rushed, but nothing crazy, nothing that's impacted my enjoyment of it, I don't feel. This is definitely the perfect book for Halloween time. This is the week of Halloween. It's October 29th right now, and I'm so glad I saved this book for Halloween. I specifically waited to read this at Halloween, and I think it's perfect for it. We've got the paranormal aspects. We've got this mansion that's got these really creepy, scary things going on. I'm really having a good time with that. As far as our characters go, I really do like Ophelia, but she has made some decisions that have been questionable and just kind of like, why would you do that? But I still do like her. And Blackwell, I haven't seen a ton of yet, but what I have seen, I am liking him so far. So our characters have been good so far. I've only seen one of the trials so far, but I really did like it. I'm liking how these trials are set up and how this mansion works. I'm having a really good time with that. And I think I'm going to predict that this will be a 4-star for me overall. It could go up to 4.5, but I don't see it being a 5-star. I'm not really getting the 5-star feeling, but hopefully I will be able to give it 4 stars. And yeah, I'm going to keep reading and I will keep you all updated. Okay, I'm back. I'm about 75% of the way through. I didn't do an update at 50 just because I didn't have a whole lot more to add. I mean, for the majority of this book, we're just following Ophelia in Phantasma doing the trials and other things that come up within the mansion. So I didn't have a whole lot more to say, but I am having a lot of fun with this. It was the perfect book to pick up around Halloween time. I'm so glad that I decided to pick it up when I did. I'm really enjoying these trials. I think the way that they're set up is really cool. And I think if you like trials in a book, you'd probably really like this. As far as our romance goes, I'm also really enjoying that. I like our couple. I think they have great chemistry. They're fun together. They have good banter. There's a pretty good slow burn. So I've been enjoying that. And individually, our characters, I really like Blackwell. I think he's really interesting. The story we've gotten for him so far, I've really liked. And I'm hoping we're going to get a lot more about him because I find him really intriguing. And then Ophelia, I do like, but I won't lie, she is definitely a little frustrating. She is very stubborn and gets herself in some bad situations that she herself will say she knows are a bad idea and then she'll go and do it anyway, which is always a little bit frustrating, especially when you as the reader, like there's an obvious, easier route to take and then she doesn't take it. But the thing with this is I feel like if she wasn't super stubborn like that, this book would end on like chapter 4. She kind of has to be, the way this mansion is set up, she kind of has to be stubborn like that and get herself into these bad situations or nothing would really happen. So I do understand why she's like that, but it is definitely a little frustrating. There's been one twist that shocked me and definitely got me more invested in this story and took things for a little turn that I didn't see coming. So that was fun. I mean, it's not a perfect book. I've definitely seen some grammatical errors in the writing. The plot, there's a few things that I'm like, well, that just doesn't quite add up to me, but I never expected this to be life-changing. I just wanted like a fun Halloween time read, and I think this is definitely great for that. I'm still predicting around 4 stars, but we will see. I'm gonna finish this one up and then I will check back in. Oh. Okay, I finished Phantasma, and I ended up bumping this one up to 4.5 stars because the ending really got me, the way that everything came together. And this was just a really fun read. It was the perfect Halloween time read. I'm so glad that I picked it up at the time that I did. The pacing did get better. It felt a little rushed at first, and then I didn't feel that way throughout the rest of the book, so I was happy about that. But the plot was just really gripping. I felt really invested the whole time. And I really loved the romance in this. There's great banter, yearning, a good slow burn, good chemistry. I just really liked reading about our couple. And Blackwell, his backstory is really interesting. I really enjoyed his character. But Ophelia is a little frustrating. She's very stubborn, which can be annoying, but I did still find her enjoyable to read about. The descriptions of this mansion are really great. It gives a great gothic atmosphere. I really like that. The way these trials are set up is really cool. I had a lot of fun with those. And there were some twists that definitely got me. Not all of them, but some of them did, and that was really fun. There's also really good OCD and prep in this, which is always great. And yeah, I just had a really fun time with this book. I will definitely be continuing this series, not right away, but eventually. But for now, I'm going to be moving on to For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. And I have already started this one. I'm about 25% of the way in. So just to give a little synopsis on this one, we are following Lily, who has recently passed on to the afterlife. And she ends up being drawn to hell. That's kind of just where she finds herself drawn to. And she gets a job amongst the demons, helping souls find where they belong. And along the way, she meets a demon general named Bell, and they become really good friends. And then there is going to be some threat that they have to solve. And so far, I'm really liking this one. We have a dual POV, which I didn't expect. I thought we were just following Lily, but we also do get a little bit from Belle's perspective, which I really liked. I'm also really enjoying this world. It's really intricate. I'm enjoying seeing the expansion of it, seeing more of it. It's been really cool so far. And this book has just been such a fun read. I've been having such a good time. It is cozy, I would say. It has a cozy atmosphere for the most part, but it does definitely have some edge to it. There's some upsetting topics in this, so mind your trigger warnings with this one. But for the most part, it has had more of a cozy atmosphere. I really like Lily. I think she is funny and confident, and I enjoy her character. And I already really like what I assume is the love interest. And they have a great friendship. They're really good friends, and they're really supportive of each other. They have good banter and chemistry, and there's great tension between them. So I have really been enjoying that. I'm also really liking, there's like quite a big cast of side characters, and I'm really liking them. And I've just met a new character who I can already tell I'm really gonna like them, so I'm excited to see more of them. There have been a few really sad or sweet moments that have made me tear up a bit, so that doesn't happen to me a lot, and this one's made me a little bit emotional, so I'm really enjoying this one. I'm really excited to keep on reading it, so I'm gonna do that, and I will keep you updated. All right, I'm about halfway through, and I am having a lot of fun with this. I'm really loving our couple. They have great tension, there's good yearning, there's a good slow burn in this, and they really seem like they're a good couple. Like, they don't just feel attracted to each other, they seem to really like each other, like spending time together, they're supportive of each other, so I've really been enjoying that. I find the humor in this book funny. I think the characters are funny. I think the writing style is fun. I could see some people finding it cringy, but I'm enjoying it. There is a great large cast of side characters and a good found family in this, especially a newer addition that I'm really glad that was added. I'm really loving her, and I'm just really enjoying seeing more of this found family aspect. This book is definitely more emotional than I had expected. I thought it was going to be a cozy, fun fantasy book, and it is at some points, but there also are a lot of upsetting topics, and I found myself getting emotional at sad moments, sweet moments, all different kinds of moments, so be prepared for that. I am now starting to learn more about the threat going on, and I'm excited to see more about that and what that ends up leading to. But I'm having a really good time with this, and I'm going to keep reading and I will update you. Okay, I have finished For Whom the Bell Tolls, and I'm going to give this one 4.5 stars. I had a really good time with this. It was a cozy-ish read with an edge. It has a cozy atmosphere, but it does have some really upsetting topics in it, so be prepared for that. This was definitely more emotional than I expected it to be. We get a lot of seeing our characters go through a journey of healing and growth, particularly from religious trauma, trauma from war, and definitely other things as well, but those were two of the big topics. I really enjoyed the world in this one, learning about the different realms, how they all work, how everything is set up, and I really thought the world building was really intricate in this. I liked learning about the different types of beings that exist in the afterlife. I really enjoyed the world in this one. I loved both main characters as well as them together as a couple. I thought Lily was super funny and confident, and I think Belle is really supportive and kind and understanding, and as a couple they were a really healthy, good couple. They got along well, they seemed to really like spending time together. I enjoyed their relationship. I thought that they were really well done. I liked the humor in this, but I could definitely see some people finding it cringy. It's a lot of puns, dad jokes, things like that, but I had a good time with it. I love the found family in this. We get a big cast of side characters and a really good found family in this one that is a really big aspect of this story. And I love a found family in a story, so I definitely liked that. The conflict with the threat I thought was really exciting and well done and had good tension to it, had me nervous. It doesn't happen until the later half of the story, really. It doesn't really get started, but it was still good when it happened. That being said, it did maybe drag a little bit because there was a ton of like slice of life in this. Like I said, the conflict didn't really get started until towards the end, and this is a long book. But the slice of life was there to really kind of, I felt, show the build up of Lily's new life, her new routine, their new life, figuring it all out. And I did understand why it was there, but I do think some of it maybe could have been cut down a little bit. The way this all wrapped up, I don't feel like the rest of this series is probably going to be following them. It pretty much all wrapped up neatly. So I'm assuming we're going to be following some new characters in future books. I have a guess as to who it could be, but I'm not sure. I couldn't really find a whole lot online, other than I guess this actually started out as a TikTok series, and that this is actually meant to be like a prequel to this TikTok series that the author made. I didn't know about them. I haven't watched them, so I guess I would say you don't have to watch them to read this, but if you want to, they're there. So overall, I would say I recommend this book to you if you want something that has a cozy atmosphere, but is an emotional journey of healing, growth, dealing with trauma. We also get a nice big found family, a great healthy relationship, and if that sounds like something you would like, then I recommend this. But next up, we are going to be getting into Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I am so excited for this one. I have wanted to read this for so long. I have had it on hold at the library for months, and I finally got it in, and I have only just started it. I'm like 20 pages in, but I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't really, like I said, I've only started. It's written like a journal, which I like. We get footnotes in it that I find are kind of fun to be able to read the little footnotes. It's kind of, I wouldn't really say slow in like the boring sense, but we're learning a lot about the Fae and how all of that works right now, and just about Emily herself a bit. So it's not super exciting yet, but like I said, I just started and I'm really excited to continue. So I will keep reading and keep you updated. So I'm about 30% of the way through Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I realize I don't think I actually told you what this book is about. We are following Emily Wilde, who is a professor at Cambridge University, and she is writing the world's first ever Encyclopedia of Fairies. And she travels to a village called Harasnik, I think is how you say it, to research the hidden ones that supposedly live there for her encyclopedia. And while she's there, her academic rival slash friend, Wendell Bambleby, shows up, and they end up becoming, I guess, like reluctant allies and working on this research together. And I'm enjoying this so far. Nothing really exciting has happened yet. We're mostly learning about the different types of Fae, different classifications, descriptions, what they look like, their behavior, what the fairy realm is supposedly like. And I'm enjoying all of that. I'm liking it. I find it interesting, but it's not like a super fast-paced, exciting read. But not everything has to be. I find Wendell really interesting. I'm very excited to learn more about him and his backstory. I think he's got some things going on, as well as this village. I find it really intriguing, the characters that live in this village and kind of what we've seen so far and how they're acting. I'm curious to find out more about that. And like I said, not a whole lot has happened. We're just kind of learning the background of the fairy lore and a little bit of background on our characters, exploring this village and searching for the hidden ones. And I'm having a good time. I don't know that it's going to be like a 5-star favorite or anything, but I'm having a good time with it. I think it's interesting. It's a bit of a cozy read, which is perfect for the fall time, which is what I was also looking for. But yeah, I'm going to keep reading and I will keep you all updated. So I'm about 65% of the way through now, and things have started to pick up. It's not like a super action-filled book, I don't feel, but we are seeing some more conflict going on, and there's more gruesome moments than I had thought there would be. It still has a mostly cozy atmosphere, but there are some moments that kind of pull you out of that. I'm really liking learning about the Fae world, the Fae realms, how their powers work, the different descriptions for them, the different kinds of Fae, and their behavior. Like, a lot of them are malevolent and mischievous, and it's cool to learn how they interact and behave with the mortals. Our main characters, they aren't really that likable alone, but together I like them. Like, Emily is really kind of cold and distant, and Wendell is more of the entitled, self-absorbed type. But together, Emily is more capable and she's actually more caring than he is. She seems to actually have more empathy for people. And he is more charming and he is better at building relationships with people. So together, they kind of seem more of like a good team, but separately, I probably wouldn't like them as much. But I am having fun with this one. I'm anticipating maybe like a 4-star, which is kind of disappointing. I had thought this would be a 5-star read, but 4 stars is still good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one up and then I will report back. I'm kind of conflicted on my final rating for this one because I thought this was gonna be an easy for sure 5 stars and it just wasn't. But I liked it more than I think a 4, but not enough to be a 4.5 either. So I think I'm just gonna have to settle on a 4.25 stars for this one. Obviously, that's still a good rating. I still liked it, just not as much as I had thought I would. It felt kind of slow for a good portion of the book because this is a fairly short book. It's like 330 some pages, something like that. So it wasn't very long, and it felt like a good chunk of this was, I mean, I expected it to be a lot of them researching the Fae. That's a big point of this book, is that she's researching the Fae for her encyclopedia. But I guess what I didn't expect is that we were going to be seeing her doing a lot of the same thing over and over again, and it just wasn't super exciting to me. And there was a reason for why she was doing the thing she was doing, but I just didn't find it the most exciting. I guess I wanted to see more of the different kinds of Fae, maybe encounter more of them instead of just dealing with like the same 3 types. But it does end up picking up later on. We get some more conflict. There's actually some kind of gruesome, dark moments that I didn't expect. But we also get a plot line in the village that I thought was interesting. I liked our village characters, and as far as our main characters go, I liked them as a couple. I didn't like them as much separately. I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I think I like Emily more than Wendell. And that's mostly because he feels more self-absorbed and entitled, and I actually feel like she has more sympathy and actually cares more for people. And I did like him. I just didn't like him as much as her. I like them both more as a couple because I feel like they made a good team and they kind of bring opposite traits to the table. Like, she is really competent at her work and she is really good at being the more serious one, whereas he is really charming and he's really good with people and he's really good at building relationships with people. So I feel like they made a really good team. They had good chemistry, they had good banter. So I really did enjoy them together. For what we saw, most of it we just saw friendship. There's very little romance-wise going on in this, and it doesn't really happen until the end. This is going to be a multi-book slow burn, I think, which I am more than happy to have. What we did get was presented in a very exciting way, and it definitely has me wanting to see more. I definitely will be continuing on in this series. I had a really good time with it. I don't want it to sound like I didn't enjoy it because it was kind of on the slower side. I just wish maybe that we had gotten to see more of the Fae. Like, the ones that we did see, I enjoyed the description of them. I just enjoyed seeing their behavior and how they interact with mortals. I enjoyed seeing the fairy realm. I just kind of wish we had gotten to go more in depth, I guess, with the fae. But definitely still glad that I read this one. So next up, I'm going to be reading Don't Let the Forest In. And I'm excited for this one. I don't read a lot of horror. I'm kind of afraid of horror because with horror movies, I'm really not good with gore. So I'm feeling it's going to be the same with books, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try out this YA horror book and see how that goes. But I'm having a really good time with this one. We are following our main character, I believe his name is Andrew, and he is in his senior year in high school going to an elite private academy. And he and his twin sister have had the same best friend named Thomas for the entire time they've gone to this school. And Thomas has not a great home life. His parents are abusive. And when Thomas shows up to school, he's kind of disheveled. He has blood on his sleeve. And then it's found out that his parents have gone missing. They've disappeared. And he's just acting kind of weird. So that is the mystery we're trying to unravel in this one. And I'm really loving the setting in this one. This ornate academy kind of gives me like a creepy feeling. I'm enjoying the pace. It feels fast, but this is a shorter book. And I'm already feeling hooked. Like I have a feeling once I pick this one up, I am not going to want to put it back down. I'm really intrigued by the plot in this one. I feel like there has been a good setup so far for what I'm assuming is going to be a big plot reveal with our main character. Something feels kind of off in his backstory versus what we are seeing going on now. Something just feels kind of off, so I'm assuming we're going to get a reveal there. But I am definitely intrigued to find out more. I am very excited to keep reading this one, so I will keep you all updated. Okay, so I am like 35–40% of the way through now, something like that. And I'm having a great time with this. I'm really enjoying this creepy atmosphere we have going on, the setting. We have this old, fancy private academy, and it's surrounded by this dark forest. I'm really enjoying the setting in this one. And I've really been intrigued by the horror elements I've seen so far. I've liked them. I wasn't sure what to expect because, like I said, I'm not good with gore. I'm not great with horror movies. I'm kind of squeamish, but I have not had an issue with this one, so I'm glad for that. Pacing has been great. There hasn't been a dull moment, but it also doesn't feel rushed at all. I'm curious to find out more about our main character, Andrew. It seems like there was something that happened maybe in the previous year that we are not being told the full story of, so I'm curious to find out more about that. I really like both our main characters. I find myself rooting for them and hoping that they're going to get through everything that's going on in this story. There's also some illustrations in this book, which I didn't know there would be, but I'm really glad that there are. I feel like they really add to it. They add to being able to picture the scene and what's going on, and also just add to the atmosphere. So I was really glad that we got those. I do maybe have a prediction for what is going to happen. That's not to say that it's predictable, but I just kind of got a feeling as I was reading a certain part. I kind of hope that I'm wrong, but I guess I'm just gonna have to wait and find out. And I went back and reread the synopsis, and there is something in there that I kind of wish wasn't in the synopsis because I kind of wish that I hadn't known it before it was revealed. I mean, it is revealed like within the first 100 pages, but this is a shorter book. It's only like 340 pages, something like that. So I don't know. I just kind of wish that I hadn't been told before I found out in the book. So I would say maybe go into this one without reading the synopsis. But I mean, even if you do, it was still enjoyable even knowing what was going to happen. But I am having a great time with this one. If you have any recommendations for me for more YA horror, let me know in the comments because I think I might end up really liking this genre. So, let me know of any recommendations you may have. But I'm going to keep reading. I'll probably do one more update before I end up finishing this one. We'll see. But either way, I am going to be back when I have an update. Alright, so I only have like 30 pages left in this book, but I wanted to finish it on the vlog because I'm scared. I'm nervous. I've finally gotten to the part, I believe, where we're going to get the big reveal as far as what happened in the past, and I'm excited but nervous for that. There already has been one big twist that I didn't really see coming. Looking back on it now, I'm kind of surprised I didn't see it, but I think my prediction was wrong. I'm hoping it was wrong, at least partly wrong. Things are really starting to come together and make sense now. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish these last, 33 pages, and then I will share my final thoughts on this one. See, I don't know about that ending because I still have questions. Okay, I need to think about this and then I'll be back to give my final thoughts. Okay, so I have finished this book now and I think I've got my thoughts all sorted out. I think I'm gonna give this one 5 stars. It's kind of hard for me to judge, honestly, because I don't really read horror ever, so I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I really enjoyed it. I really loved the creepy feeling it gave me, the setting with this like old, fancy elite academy surrounded by these dark, creepy woods. And then we get illustrations in here that I didn't know would be in there, and I feel like they really helped add to that. I think the writing was really interesting and beautiful, and I felt like the characters were really well written. I felt like we got to see multiple layers of their personalities. They felt really well fleshed out. I thought the pacing was really good in this as well. It never felt slow to me. It never felt rushed, even though it was maybe a little bit on the shorter side. I also enjoyed the horror elements in this book more than maybe I had thought I would. I was worried because, like I said, I'm squeamish, but it never really bothered me. They didn't feel too much for me, and they felt spaced out enough that I was able to handle it. And I really liked our main characters, and I was definitely rooting for them. And we also get some really good representation in this book. We get good mental health representation, good queer representation, and I really liked seeing our couple and seeing them figure out their feelings for each other. I did predict parts of this, but not all of it. And there's still some questions that I have. I'm not even entirely sure if my predictions were true in certain points or not. The ending definitely feels a little cut off and abrupt, but reading the acknowledgments at the end, I think it says something like, if you finish this book and are staring at the wall with a frown, then that's how it was supposed to be, something like that. So I think it was meant to be that way. I think it was kind of meant to leave you questioning what was going on. Definitely left me with some questions that I kind of wish I had gotten answers to, but like I said, I think it was intentional, and it definitely leaves the story in my mind. I'm definitely still thinking about it, trying to figure out the answers myself. But overall, I felt like this was a heartbreaking and haunting story, but I really enjoyed it. And I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a good YA horror book that will stick in your mind for a while, then I recommend this one to you. But this is going to be the last book in this vlog. I definitely read some great ones in this vlog, and I maybe found a new genre that I want to explore more of, so it was very successful to me. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope to see you all in the next one.